Impeachment proceedings well underway in Washington, D.C., but they may not be President Trump's only problem right now. Rick Newman, the Trumpometer, sits patiently waiting for this week's latest reading.
It does, and this is...
What is the story with the Trump world? Because I do find it interesting as a consumer of news. It's not like I don't pay attention. Yep. I have had a very hard time following what exactly is happening with impeachment, whether it's good, whether it's bad, and how this is all playing into Trump's world.
Well, the impeachment does not really play into the Trumpometer for the most part because it's not an economic story. We can talk about that, of course. The economic news we got today, GDP growth, you referred to that a little bit earlier, 2.3% for 2019. Trump has an Obama problem because he's got to explain ho-hum growth. And as Obama did when they were passing the stimulus program in 2009, Trump has overpromised. I mean, he has said, I'm going to get GDP growth up to 3% and maybe 4%. And we don't really know where this is going to be by a year from now. But we are not going to get 3% GDP growth in 2020. I think almost no economist thinks that. So if you look at the numbers for Trump's 3 years, 2.4% GDP growth in 2017, 2.9% the following year, and 2.3% this year. The 2.9% in 2018 was kind of a bubble probably due to the tax cuts that went into effect that year. Mm-hmm. And it's just flattened out. So it's not terrible, but I can tell you, Trump was not tweeting today, we got 2.3% GDP growth, MAGA. He didn't have anything to say about this at all.
But I mean, and I don't know, maybe we disagree on this, and we don't have you and I have done this for hours in the past.
We have.
The growth trajectory and spending and all that. But I mean, to my mind, it's pretty simple, right? If the government wants to make an investment in getting GDP growth, you can just pass a couple of bills and get that. That's essentially what we saw for 6 quarters.
He's not going to get that, though. I mean, the last bill he got passed in this regard was a tax cut, and there's going to be nothing else significant passed in 2020 because he doesn't have Republicans running both sides anymore, and there's no way they're going to make a bipartisan deal. So the question is, I think we're going to have GDP growth around what we have now by the time of the election. Is that good enough for Trump to get reelected or not? I think the story for all of 2020 is it's going to be right on the cusp. I think Trump needs stronger economic growth than a normal incumbent would because he's Trump. Yep. He's been impeached. Mm-hmm. He's Captain Chaos and all the other things. So the economy should be working for him, but it's not really.
He's going to be touting it in his Super Bowl ad.
He's going to be touting it in his State of the Union speech next week as well. The last time he gave a big economic speech, I counted 22 major lies about things he has accomplished. I'm afraid we're probably going to get more of that in the State of the Union. I don't like listing Trump's lies and playing gotcha, but it's almost essential when there's so many lies that are so significant in his major speeches. So where does the Trumpometer land this week? I think it might be kind of a familiar reading.
Weak yet again. Did the CBO numbers factor into this at all? I know you were talking about the GDP numbers from today. But
no, you mean on the $1 trillion deficits?
And the deficit,
so
and
it's
also
important
on growth as well.
Yeah, it's important that the CBO codified those numbers, but that's what we've been expecting all along, and that was pretty much what their last forecast said. So what they did say, $1 trillion deficits for each of the next 10 years, and by 2030, we're going to have a $1.7 trillion deficit with the size of the deficit getting close to 5% of GDP. That's a danger zone, but right now it's not causing a problem. You want to talk about impeachment?
Yeah, well, do we have time?
Quickly, I mean,
does it matter?
All I see is Alan Dershowitz.
The drama. So you're not going to see much of Alan Dershowitz after today or tomorrow because this is the phase of the defense, and he's part of the defense team. This is going to end. And then the question comes, are they going to call more witnesses and call for more evidence? And that's going to be this very close vote we've been hearing all about. It looks like it's about a 50-50 toss-up right now. If they do call witnesses, that means I guess we're going to hear from John Bolton and see what he has to say, which probably will be a modest negative for Trump. If they vote not to call witnesses, the whole thing could be over with an acquittal by the end of this week.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.